All right, welcome back. We are the Feel the Heat podcast, and I am Dylan.
And I am Ian. Welcome.
Yes,
Episode 2. We actually have a name for this podcast.
For real.
We're getting graphics. It's coming along, I tell you what.
It's all showing up.
Today is Wednesday, so we're filming this right before game 1 of the NBA Finals. So let's just do a preview. Talk about your Warriors. Let's hear it.
Oh, this is the toughest matchup that I think we could have had.
Absolutely.
I think that as a Warriors fan, I would rather play the Heat, but I still think it's going to be the best series out of the playoffs.
Maybe.
I think it could be.
Maybe. I see where you're coming from. Boston is definitely the hardest possible opponent you could have faced.
Right, exactly.
Especially in the East, there wasn't really anyone like Miami, yes, but Giannis had no Chris Middleton, so no one really was gonna challenge Boston.
No, well, the Heat did.
No one was gonna take Boston to that next level that the Warriors are gonna take them to in this finals.
I think that the Warriors can take them to this next level that nobody has seen yet this playoff run. But they say that Gary Payton's supposed to be expected back for game 1, but he's going to be on a game time decision.
Which that's a player you need. You need GP2 in that lineup. Very helpful. I tell you what.
It'll be very helpful to have him back because our defense has been subpar since he went out.
Okay, let's talk about the cons for the Warriors first.
Right.
I think cons are turnovers and lack of size.
Yes.
Those turnovers, Boston are going to do y'all in on those turnovers.
They're fast.
They are going to run.
They can run, and they get the open court, and they know what to do with it.
And then when it comes to lack of size, if Boston really, really uses their size, I mean, they have Al Horford, they have Time Lord, Robert Williams. They have Jason Tatum. That lineup as your 3, 4, 5 already big.
It's way bigger than we are.
And then you have Jaylen Brown at the 2. He's 6'7". You have Marcus Smart at the 1. You are a big lineup, Boston. You have some long athletes. So
very long athletes that can just run the floor and take over a game at any given moment.
They will challenge the Warriors in that way. Now, cons for Boston. I don't know. Does Boston have any flaws?
The shooting.
They usually have a game where Tatum just doesn't show up for one game.
But he shows up and drops at least 30 every other game.
But against the Warriors, that may be the one game you need.
Right.
Because you can't take a break against the Warriors.
No. Realistically, the Warriors lineup needs to be Looney, Draymond, Wiggins, Clay, Steph, and then GP2 coming in as the 6th man. Because
still have Kuminga on that bench.
Kuminga needs to play this series because of the size. He hasn't played.
Yeah, you need him on that defensive end of the ball.
I think if you're going
still have Poole on the bench.
Well, yeah, but if you're going to lack Otto Porter's size, Kuminga needs to play.
True say.
So the bench needs to be GP2, Poole, Kuminga. And I don't know if I think you run an 8-man. Because we've been running an 8-man.
GP2, Poole, and Kuminga,
yeah.
That's all you need.
Because our 8-man's been
keep
Bielitsa, and then
Wiseman's still injured. He ain't even playing.
Moody has been
keep
there.
Moody on the bench.
Yeah, this lineup needs to be strictly defense and size.
Absolutely.
That's really all.
I'm excited for this series, though. I'm definitely going to be tuning into most, if not every single game.
Yeah.
This is a good play. Oh, my bad. No, we're good.
We're good.
This is going to be, I agree. I think this will be the best playoff series. Boston, Miami was good, but
it very well could be the worst, though.
It could just be a blowout. They could sweep them.
It could be a sweep on either side.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
You have two very good teams.
You get the Warriors going in and shooting lights out every game, and you get Game 5-6 Clay for more than Game 5-6.
Crazy. Game 6 Jimmy Butler. We'll talk about that later.
Game
But Game 6,
6
Jimmy Butler is different.
Game 7, Jimmy Butler is different too, but we'll talk about that later.
But, okay, I'll make my prediction. Let's both make our predictions. I say Boston in 6. I think they pull one over.
It's hard not to lean that way, even as a Warriors fan, just
Boston
because
just look good.
the matchup on paper just does not look good for us, and that's just the one problem we're gonna have there. And then, I mean, I want to say Warriors in 7, but Vegas has the odds at 86% Boston.
Which Vegas is bugging. Okay, it's not an 86%.
No,
bet on the Warriors.
Bet on the
with
Warriors.
That money line. Bet on the Warriors 100%. Like that's nasty. The Warriors are so much better than that.
No, you got a 14% chance is what Vegas is giving us. I mean,
yeah,
I would go and put all my money on the Warriors just in case they win.
It's more of a 51%, 49% series.
Right.
If I just looking at it from a regular fan standpoint, like these teams are going to have a close series.
It is as close to a 50-50 as you're going to get.
It should be good, though. I'm excited.
Right.
Let's go ahead and talk about the conference finals. In the East, we had Miami. Oh, do we want to start with Miami?
I think we should get the Warriors series out of the way because it's
let's
fast.
Talk about Warriors Dallas. Not a lot you can do.
No, there wasn't much. Luka can't do anymore.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
That's it, really. So Eastern Conference, Heat versus Boston. And now, there's some things going on around Twitter. People saying Jimmy shouldn't have taken that shot.
And I want to hear your opinion on this because we touched on it on a Discord call the other day.
I said I'd leave it for the podcast. Now, here's the reason, right?
Yeah.
The Miami Heat are not anywhere near the conference final without Jimmy Butler.
Not a shadow of the doubt on that.
Secondly, on top of that, it's a good shot. Like, you don't think about percentages when it comes to Game 7. Game 7, it don't matter about percentages. You got to win. That's all he was thinking, win the ball game. Right. So I can't fault him for that shot. He's the best player on that team, the second best player on both teams.
But the worst shooter on the team.
I'm living with a Jimmy shot. Every day
From
of
the
week.
games that I watched in Miami's entire run, I'm living with a Jimmy shot. But the problem is that statistically, for some reason, he just can't shoot the ball. And I don't know where that came from. It might be the fact that he changed his jumper.
We're going to look up the stat for Game 7, right? Because I feel like he had a good shooting night from the 3.
No, I think he did. I think he had a good playoff from the 3.
No.
He had a decent...
Like Game 6, yes, but like the rest, he was...
It was a bet...
Game 5 was not good.
It was better from 3 during the playoffs than 23% was during the regular season.
I don't know if Game 5 was.
You don't think so?
Game 5 was nasty. That man could not shoot the fucking ball. You have Jimmy Butler's... Oh, okay, it's not going to tell me the stats here. Great.
It's unfortunate,
amazing.
But whatever.
But, yeah, I'm living with that shot every single day of the week. He even goes into the press conference and he says, like, yeah, my teammates are going to live with that shot, so I'm going to live with that shot. And fair enough. I'm rocking with that shot.
I'm rocking with that shot just because of the fact that we all know that Jimmy Butler we win off of the mistakes off the mistakes the other team makes, not off of the mistakes we do.
Yeah.
That's just his attitude on everything, and he just wants to win. And so looking at it from his perspective, he had an open shot.
You take that shot every day.
Yeah.
If you're Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
If it was Kyle Lowry dribbling up the court, right, don't take that shot. Like, I'd be actually hot if it was Kyle Lowry dribbling up the court. Don't take that shot.
Now, if Hero had the ball...
Hero didn't even play that second half.
He didn't play that second half. But if Hero had the ball, you'd take that shot any day.
Which now, that brings me to the question, like, I don't know why, but why didn't Duncan Robinson play for, like, 3 playoff series in a row?
There has to be something going on with the fact that
His coach just not feeling his vibe.
I don't think Spo is feeling his vibe.
He wasn't injured.
No, and he's a good player.
That boy sat on the bench. He played about 6 minutes probably in the entire.
Yeah,
Eastern
but those
Conference
6
Finals.
minutes that he was in,
I think he only put up like 1 point.
Right. Exactly. But when you put him against the only series that he actually played in was Atlanta, and that boy was balling.
That's like I don't get it. Maybe I just haven't done the research for it, but
right.
It just doesn't make sense to me why there's no Duncan Robinson in 3 straight series.
Yeah, really never serious.
Yeah.
It will never make sense to me, but I mean, it's whatever.
And Udonis Haslem, you gotta retire, big dog. Come on, man, it's your time.
Homeboy hasn't played in 3 years. Has he gotten a minute in 3 years, or was it just this year that he got a minute?
I don't know. You asked the wrong.
I know that they let him play, and the internet went wild. But I don't
watch
remember.
Udonis Haslem play basketball. I haven't since he was a long time ago.
Since 2012.
Yeah. I haven't seen him play basketball in a long time ago.
I don't think he's played basketball even in the last 3 years.
Since Birdman was on the court with the Miami, I wasn't watching.
He is legitimately just a part of team management that is getting a paid salary as a player.
Coach. He should be a player coach.
Right.
Like that. That's
what he does.
That's literally what he does.
He doesn't play.
Big dog, stop being a player. Retire, become a coach for the Miami Heat, and you're straight. Spo rocking with you clearly if he keeping you on the bench and not playing you.
And you're just cool with not playing either.
Like, you're 38.
You gotta be older than that.
Nah, ain't no way Udonis Haslem's older than 38.
Bruh.
38 is old.
I think he's the oldest active player in the NBA.
I thought that was Bron. Ain't no way Udonis Haslem is older than 38. How old that man?
41.
Oh, my Lord. Technically, he isn't the oldest active player, I will say, though.
Who is?
Because he's not active. Like, he's on the bench, but he's not like Vince Carter was still playing in his last year.
Well, he's not the oldest active player, but he is the oldest player getting paid on a player salary. He was drafted in 2002, so the year right before Bron. And that means that he went to college.
He did?
He had to have, because if Bron's only 38.
Yeah, and he's 41. Yeah. He probably went like 2-3 years.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Shout out Udonis Haslem.
The OG.
You got to retire, though, big dog. What do the Miami Heat do now? That's my question. I've seen reports that they want to trade, get a second star.
Hero is that second. No, they need a third star.
Nah, Hero is not that second star.
He can be.
He's like a...
He averaged 26 points a game or something stupid this season.
Hero's not a star, though.
He can be.
Hero's more of like a Draymond Green or a Dennis Rodman. Like, he's the third fiddle. He's not. He can't be the Rob. He's like a Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday. I don't know. I should.
Yeah. He's a Drew Holiday, I guess.
Like, they need a Chris Middleton. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you also gotta realize that he keeps progressively having better seasons and averaging 26, and he's still not a starter. He's in his 4th year in the league.
Who's even starting to? Oh, they had a good lineup now, though. They had Kyle Lowry, V.O., Jimmy, Bam.
Was starting.
Strus is probably somewhere in there.
Yeah, Strus was the starting shooting guard. Do you think the Hero is worse than Strus?
Maybe Spo just likes Strus more.
I think the Hero is their spark plug off the bench, but he's come out and said that he thinks he deserves a starting spot.
I'd agree. I'd put him in that starting lineup.
I'd give him a starting lineup, and then you put him in the starting lineup, and you go out, and even if it's not a point or a shooting guard star, you put Bam at the 4 with a solid center. And that team.
Get Rudy Gobert.
You get Rudy.
But how do you get Rudy? How do you trade for Rudy Gobert?
But the rumor is that Donovan Mitchell is headed to Miami.
I wouldn't be mad, especially because he's around great defenders. Like, it's not just Rudy Gobert playing defense and the rest doing absolutely jack nothing.
But I honestly think that the only reason that... I think Donovan Mitchell is soft.
Yeah, but around those hard players, he'll be fine.
I think it'll be a Jimmy situation. Like, he goes into practice and runs Donovan Mitchell out of the building.
I don't see it.
It could be.
I don't see
I
it.
don't think that it will happen. I think it could be something that did happen.
The only reason I don't see it is because I don't think Donovan Mitchell is the same cut of cloth as Karl Anthony Towns.
But Karl Anthony Towns lately has not been that cut of cloth anymore.
No.
So,
Karl Anthony Towns is a pansy.
not
That's what he is.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't Wiggins. Trust me, it wasn't Wiggins.
No,
it was 100% Karl.
No, we all know it wasn't Wiggs.
Which is weird, right? Because Karl in his I don't know why I keep saying Karl. Cat in his rookie year, he played with Kevin Garnett. So how is he?
Oh,
Like a little pansy right now.
I know, because Kevin Garnett is the best trash
Like
talker of all
that
time.
man's tough. Like Jimmy's tough, but Kevin Garnett is.
But you got to think about it this way. Wiggins wasn't the problem in that
100%
Minnesota locker room.
100% he was.
But then you also got the argument that you already know that the Warriors locker room is not the same as a Jimmy Butler locker room. The Warriors locker room, they are not throwing punches and cussing out the coach in the middle of a game. Like, I mean, Draymond might be.
If Wiggins was on this Miami team, he'd be perfectly fine.
I think it would be too.
He'd be perfectly fine. I think it was just Minnesota, bro. If I got drafted to Minnesota, well, he didn't even get drafted. If I got traded to Minnesota, I'd be hot too.
Well, and then he did it in Philly too. He
Nobody
did something in Philly. I know that Joel Embiid said that he wishes that they never let.
Yeah,
him
Joel
go.
was rocking with it because that's how Joel is.
Yeah.
Joel liked that.
And that's another thing is that he talks a lot too.
You feels that? I don't know.
And then you know how we were talking yesterday about if KD says something on Twitter before we filmed the podcast, and then he came out and
He had
Draymond.
a run on Twitter.
Yeah.
No, it was like Draymond said. It was a bunch of replies on replies, but Draymond basically said like, you got to see the full clip before you respond. Don't be that silly.
Right.
And then Katie was just like, okay, big dog, I still like watching your show. Like, I don't think it was shade from Katie.
Originally, everybody thought it was. I don't think it was in the end.
I don't think it was.
No. And then
Katie's been on a go, though.
I know.
She's just been going on Twitter for the last 3 weeks.
But I'm not even gonna lie to you. We literally were like, got off the Discord call, and like as we were ending it, saying if Katie says something on Twitter, and within 2 hours, I got the notification that Katie went off on Twitter.
Katie's just been talking, bro.
Katie's always talks.
I mean, I like it personally.
I do
from
too.
Katie because he can back it up.
Right.
Katie always gonna back it up. Like
Right.
Patrick Beverly, shut the hell up, big dog.
And then you got JJ Redick's little ass punking you.
JJ's smart. That
JJ's
man's brain is.
I think JJ's one of the smartest ex-player analysts that there is.
Yeah, like his brain just fires.
I think that an amazing show would be Pat Bev and Draymond on an analyst booth with Stephen A. Smith.
I don't want to watch that. Stephen A. didn't even like Max Kellerman. I don't know if he.
Nobody likes Max Kellerman.
I like Max Kellerman, but I also like boxing though. So his boxing takes were
that's different.
He's a good boxer.
His NFL
analyst.
and NBA analyst takes are awful.
He said Tom Brady was gonna fall off a cliff. Like sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Like that's just it. But I like Max. I rock with Max.
Yeah. All right. Let's go into the fact that people are saying that if Tatum takes out Steph, that this could be better than Dirk's run.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate, right?
Right.
Round one, you play Katie and Kyrie with no Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a caveat on that round, though. Like, Tatum just balled. He just beat those boys silly. Round two, you play Boston, right? Who the fuck they play? Giannis and Co? You play Giannis and Co without their second fiddle, their closer, Chris Middleton.
Right.
So I think there is a caveat on that series. Like, you didn't play them at full strength with one of their best players.
Right.
Round three, you play Miami. I don't know. That Miami one, he kind of just beat Miami.
Just beat the shit out of Miami.
Yeah, you just beat Miami. So
Damn.
I think only round two is the only they didn't have their second best player.
Right.
The player that may or may not have been carrying them to a championship outside of Giannis. So.
Yeah. I mean, Drew Holiday stepped up when he needed to.
When he plays his defense, when he plays solid lockdown defense, he's the second best player on that team.
Drew Holiday is the definition of great defense generates good offense because he can go and get a steal and drop 5 steals in a game, lock some people up, and then drop 22 points.
Bro,
And
I'm still having flashbacks to the steal on Devin Booker, throws it up to Giannis. Giannis gets fouled, dunks on his ass.
Yep.
Nasty. Game 6. Nasty. But will it be better than Dirk's? If he beats Wardell, Stephen Curry, it may be better than Dirk's. I'll be honest.
But you also got to think about the fact that is Jaylen Brown better than Dirk's help that year? And I'm going to say yes, a million times
JJ
yes.
Barea and company.
Sean Marion.
Didn't they have an Allen on there? Tony Allen?
No.
No,
they had no defensive threat.
I'm thinking about a bald man with a white headband.
You thinking about Shane Battier?
Nope.
Because that's
bald dark man.
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
Your starting lineup was JJ Barea, Jason Terry, Sean Marion, Dirk, and who was the center?
I couldn't tell you.
Exactly. So I'm telling you right now that Al Horford, Robert Williams, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart is a better team than Dirk's Mavs.
That is true.
So it's really honestly up to just debate at this point. It's like
who did Dirk go through? Did he go through Miami that series?
He beat
Was that
Miami
the finals?
In the finals.
I don't know if you can it's LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Nobody Jason Tatum is gonna face is that good unless he would have faced a healthy Nets.
Right, a full healthy Nets.
With Ben Simmons, Kyrie, and KD, then they would have had no excuse.
Yeah.
Realistically, they still have no excuse. They got 4-0.
No,
only team to get swept.
There was no excuse on that.
Only team to get swept. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have an excuse for Brooklyn, but that's just me.
Yeah, Brooklyn. We'll figure out this offseason what you do because I don't know.
Ain't nobody know. All right, let's give your final take on that one. You thinking the Tatum run could be better than Dirk's?
Because if he beats Wardell, I kind of want to say yes, right? But Dirk just didn't have the same type of help.
No, he did not.
Dirk didn't have Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Al Horford.
If he knocks off the Warriors, I would like to say yes as well, but my final answer is no. Dirk's run is still the greatest run of all time.
He's also not going against prime LeBron and D-Wade.
And Bosh.
Older D-Wade, older Bosh, but prime LeBron.
Yeah, but that
not that much older. Yeah, it's 2011. Yeah. They're not that old.
They were 8 years into the league.
Yeah.
If that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a sticky one.
It's a sticky one.
I don't think his run will be better than Dirk's.
No, I don't think it will be either.
I don't think you can class it as that.
All right.
Also, I will say the tools that Dirk has in his bag are also just less than Tatum's. So that's what makes it more impressive.
Dirk was very one-dimensional.
Dirk isn't here crossing you up, fading from the three-point line. He gonna hit threes. Don't believe you. He gonna hit threes, but not like that.
The great thing about Dirk is that his arms were so long that when he pulled up in front of somebody from the three-point line, they weren't blocking that
KD
shot.
arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Dirk, respect to Dirk.
Yes, 100%. And it's crazy to me that the Mavs replaced a player like Dirk with an up-and-coming Luka.
They like their European.
That
they
can
like
ball.
their Europeans.
They do. They definitely do.
Is interesting, right? Because they didn't pick Darko Milicic.
No.
They were smart. They know the right Europeans.
Right. No, they know.
They got a little lock on the Europeans. Shout out the Mavs. Shout out Mark Cuban.
I think Mark Cuban might have some connections down
there.
He must.
Well, also a 16-year-old playing professional basketball, winning championships in the highest league in Europe. I'd pick him too.
Yeah, but you got to think about it also. Like his other European players are really good too. Like are good for what they are. Like Bertans.
Boban.
Boban's
really good.
Boban.
Boban's really
Boban
good.
was not drafted They didn't.
Boban's really good.
Boban was like the third player in the trade too. I'm talking about like Davis. Really?
Shout out Davis Bertans. They're the power forward. Maxi Kleber?
Maxi Kleber.
Where's he from? He sounds German.
Yeah, sounds like it. I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
All right, we got these Utah Jazz rumors. We're going to cover this one more time, and then until something happens, I'm sick of talking about it.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
All right.
Donovan, where you headed? Let us know. Where you going, Donnie?
Al Horford needs to be moved from Boston, I think, after this year.
Really?
Yeah. I'm thinking he's getting old, so I'm thinking you
with his trade value at its highest it will be.
But his contract's so big.
He still has a giant ass contract.
He still has a giant ass contract. So do you think the Jazz could make a move for it? Because we're just at this point, nobody really cares about what the Jazz are doing, so we can throw up BS on what the Jazz can do.
Trade Donovan Mitchell to Sacramento. I don't know. Fuck it.
Nobody wants to see that, and nobody wants to see you ruin Donovan Mitchell's career. That's just me. You want a non-shooting backcourt? I mean, we could do that. Non-defensive, non-shooting backcourt.
Donovan Mitchell could shoot the ball.
Not as well as somebody.
Can't shoot the ball, but that's okay.
They can't play defense either.
De'Aaron can play defense.
Yeah, but Donovan Mitchell's going to bring that backcourt defense down pretty hard.
But in Atlanta, who they got in that backcourt?
Again, no defense. Wherever
and they're
Donovan
good.
Mitchell goes for a 1 and a 2, you're not going.
Donovan Mitchell, if you want to come to Sacramento, we'll gladly take you. But regardless, you're not coming.
No. The Jazz rumors are just
Miami?
Annoying. No, he's rumored
Philly?
to go there. Philly would be cool. I'm kind of sick of Philly getting good teams and ruining it.
I was about to say, I've seen like Philly rumors that they may want to trade for Kyrie, but I'm like, why? Why
didn't you trade for Kyrie?
Are you going to trade James Harden back to Brooklyn?
Right, exactly.
He still has an extra year on his contract, right? I think so.
No, Kyrie's a free agent.
No, James Harden.
Yes.
So they would sign Kyrie. Ooh, do they even have the money for that?
No, they can't sign Kyrie.
I was about to say,
you know why they can't sign Kyrie? Because James Harden and Kyrie had it out when James Harden left.
So trade James Harden for some young pieces or some. Not young pieces. It depends what you do. Because Tyrese and Joel, they're young. But James Harden just isn't. And if you get a point guard in the free agency, you're not getting a young point guard.
Exactly. But the problem with that is that they already said James Harden is staying next season, and I don't get it. I will never get it.
Let's hit a pause. I got to reset the camera. Alrighty, we are back from our break.
Yes. Welcome. All right, are you done talking about the Jazz rumors? Because I just can't stand it anymore.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Nobody likes the Utah Jazz.
Nobody does, as LeBron says. All right. Al Horford's dominance out of nowhere.
Oh. Some may say, some could equate it to Kevon Looney's dominance out of nowhere.
Except for the scoring.
Of course, Al Horford scores a lot more.
Right,
a lot more. It's probably not out of nowhere. He just played good when his team needed him to.
Yeah, except for it's out of nowhere, seeing the way that Al Horford has played the last 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
Is in Philly and then back here, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been kind of in a rut, but trust me, he is back.
He is
You're
back.
getting Atlanta Al.
That is so weird, but it's so true.
Atlanta Al.
So true.
What a dog.
That Atlanta team was just really weird to me. Even back then, the All-Stars that they had was really weird.
Man, that was a good team. That was a good little team.
Very good team. Bunch of nobodies all became All-Stars. Really weird.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
Shout out Kyle Korver.
Jeff Teague, too, right?
Oh, some dogs. Kyle Korver and Jeff Teague.
God damn.
Just my favorite players.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Al Horford recently has put up some shocking games from the last couple, compared to the last couple years. But realistically, he's still got game.
He's got it.
He's still got game. So you can't really be that surprised when Al Horford goes out and drops 25 because the man can strap.
He's still just good.
He's very good.
Even in that game 7 though, I swear he was missing a lot. A lot of threes.
Right. Well, he has his games.
Yeah, that's true. He's not a superstar.
But he showed that he could still body Giannis if he wants to.
Damn good role player.
Yeah.
And they got Grant Williams on that bench too.
Yes, they do.
That boy can ball.
Yes, he can. It's just random too.
Drop damn near 30
when he wants.
That game was wild.
It was indeed. I mean, does it really surprise you about Al Horford recently?
Yes and no. No, because like he just didn't have the chance to show it. And now that he's playing for a championship, he hasn't won one yet, right?
No, this is his first finals.
That's true. The entire Boston team, this is their first finals run ever. Yeah. So he's motivated. He's feeling it.
Yeah, because
that entire team
he ever made it was the Eastern Conference Finals with that ATL team.
Mm-hmm. So that entire team is feeling hot. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get another good game from Grant Williams, another random 20 piece from Grant Williams. If you get
25 from Al Horford,
random Peyton Pritchard on that bench, he may drop like 5 threes in a game just randomly.
Because
so
that boy can shoot.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
No, the team's very good.
They're deep.
They're
deep.
All right. Breaking news as of yesterday, which is going to be late to all you, but CJ McCollum signed a deal to be on the broadcast team for ESPN for the finals. And in my humble opinion, that is going to be the most boring fucking broadcast I have ever watched in my entire life. I may not tune in.
Look, CJ McCollum is not the most interesting man listening to him on a broadcast.
CJ McCollum.
For sure.
No.
He has a giant brain, though, so maybe he'll give us some analytical takes that we wouldn't have thought of or that.
Well, you never thought JJ Redick was going to be.
Nah, you could feel it from JJ Redick.
Really?
He's been doing a podcast even when he was in the league,
right.
though. So I already watched his podcast.
Right.
Like when he was in the bubble, I remember watching it and shit like that.
There's certain personalities in the league that you can tell that they are going to be interesting to watch on the analytical side of it all.
Yeah. Interesting and not just outlandish. Like Pat Bev, bro. You can't just keep saying outlandish things.
No, you can't, but it makes for good TV. And so it's entertaining to watch to an extent. But CJ McCollum is not one of those people. And
we may be proven wrong.
We may
tune into game one and he's just firing them off. He has a Mike Breen cadence.
Yeah.
He won't, but he may.
He won't, but he could. It's very, very possible, but I just do not believe that it's going to be interesting to listen to. And I'm going to college to do the analytical side of sports, and so it very much interests me, and it's one of my favorite parts of the game, and I just cannot see CJ McCollum doing it.
It just doesn't seem like it'll be that interesting. No. I won't even lie.
It just won't be.
Shout out to CJ though, bro. He been out of the playoffs for a hot minute.
Yeah.
At least he made it.
Yeah.
At least he made it.
He did it. He made it. He signed a contract.
He's staying in New Orleans? Oh, that's news. Zion's fully cleared to play.
Too late.
Fully clear.
A little too late.
It is too late, but that excites me for next season.
Did you see that Stephen A. Smith, I think it was, said that if they were getting ready to offer him $200 million like they are Zion, that he would be the skinniest power. Or was it Charles Barkley?
It was Charles Barkley.
Was it Charles Barkley?
It was Charles Barkley.
They said he would be the skinniest power forward
on planet Earth. Yeah, he did say that. That's a damn lie. Okay.
Yeah, it's a damn lie because Charles, you were never skinny, Charles.
Your nickname was the round mound of rebound for a reason, big dog. Like, you ain't fooling us. No, shit.
I've seen some things on Instagram saying that low-key Charles Barkley is one of the funniest men on planet Earth.
I've been seeing it recently too, yeah.
and some of the things you see on like clips that you don't usually like pay attention to,
random from Charles.
But they're so funny.
Just random from Charles.
Because him and Shaq together is the funniest thing ever.
That's a good 4 broadcasting lineup. I love that team.
I mean, you could
Ernie, Kenny the Jet Smith. Shout out to him.
I mean, I love that broadcast. But when you take Draymond and remove Kenny from it, it elevates itself even higher.
You have to have Ernie, though. Ernie kind of holds the piece.
I don't understand how Ernie Johnson does it.
Ernie's the GOAT. Ernie's the GOAT.
The day that Ernie Johnson lays down that mic for the last time is going to be one of the saddest days for sports.
That'll be a weird day.
It's just going to be really weird because
Ernie's like Skip Bayless, but not dumb. You feel me?
He's very intelligent.
Like, yeah. There's a lot of brain fluid flowing through his brain.
I just honestly think that Skip Bayless was the most far off thing that you could have picked right there.
I couldn't think of other white broadcasters. Okay, my bad.
He is old JJ Redick.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
He really is.
JJ Redick is an up and coming Ernie. And Ernie is going to be the GOAT.
Ernie's the best. I love you.
Yeah.
I love you, Ernie Johnson.
As a grown-ass man, I can say, Ernie Johnson, that I love you.
As a grown-ass man to another grown-ass man. Ernie, I love you, bud. You're the greatest. But yeah, that's about it from us.
Yeah, that's about it for this week.
Tomorrow we're recording the
Pod Behavior
podcast, which is the second podcast on this channel. It's just us talking. We'll have one of our buddies, Eli, in on that. So yeah, that is exciting. We'll go to a regular uploading schedule next week. This week is just because the finals are starting. We want to get these episodes out before the finals games, so that y'all can. It won't be just late. Like, I don't want to be talking about, this might happen in this series, and then we're already 3 games in by the time that podcast drops.
Nah, by the time y'all see episode 3, the finals will be over, most likely. No, it won't be over. It'll be more than like halfway through.
Somewhere around game 5.
So we'll have a lot to talk about next Thursday.
Absolutely.
But we wanted to push this one out since we knew that game 1 is tomorrow.
Yep.
So filming on the same day of game 1 before game 1 even starts is just not it. And so
we're getting it going. We're getting graphics going. We're getting channel name, everything. We will get an Instagram so y'all can see clips and shit. And I think that's about it from us. Have a good little day, y'all. Enjoy basketball.
Enjoy.